What's up, everybody? Bandit here, and today we're going to talk about what it takes to buy a brand new Can-Am in 2020. Let's get started. So to get started here, let's talk about what's actually new for 2020. And at least with the Outlander here, the changes really aren't that great. Now, obviously, you still have the full lineup between the 450 and the 1000 class. And Can-Am actually offers more models than any other manufacturer. They have a 450, a 570, a 650, an 850, and a 1000. And also, several of those engine sizes are also available in the Renegade, which again is a four-wheel drive four-wheeler, but is I would say kind of the more sporty model. Definitely not as utility focused as the Outlander, but both of these machines really do have a great ride. Now, obviously, where Can-Am and where the commercials at least try to lead you to is their side-by-side lineup, which between their Defender, the Commander, and obviously all of their different sport models like the Maverick, the X3, there are a lot of different machines there for any potential buyer. But what you really need to realize here is ultimately you're buying this machine for you. I know that sounds silly, it sounds really obvious, but if you walk into the dealer and you let them kind of sway your decision, you're going to walk out of there with a near $30,000 X3. And those things are absolutely huge, and you might not actually need that. I mean, the X3 is absolutely an incredible machine. The Turbo RR model is up near 200 horsepower, which is absolutely nuts, but that's not going to help you around the farm. That's not going to help you out in your yard doing normal yard work. That certainly is an impressive machine, but even for East Coast trails, it might be too big for the places you ride. So definitely take an inventory of what you actually need, what you want, what you're trying to fulfill. Now, another thing you need to realize here is, if you do decide to go with an Outlander, the 1000 is not your standard four-wheeler. And I've had a lot of my friends get that kind of mixed up. A 1000 is definitely a nice machine. It rides great. It has crazy power, but that is not the bulk and the meat and potatoes of Can-Am sales. I would say a lot of those sales are with the Outlander L models, which are comprised of the 450 and the little bit larger 570. Now, the pros of this are the Outlander L models are considerably cheaper. They start right at $6,000 for a 450 without power steering, the DPS system that Can-Am has. And that's not a bad place to start. You're talking about 38 horsepower, which is more than anything else in the 500 class of any manufacturer. And that's certainly a good place to be. Now, that is, again, a single cylinder motor. Once you go up to the 570, Can-Am actually starts with their V-twins, the Rotax V-twins that Can-Am is definitely known for. And they're actually the only one in the 600 class that I know of to actually offer that V-twin. I know Polaris' 570 is still a single. CF Moto, still a single. Honda is not even in that market. And then when you jump up to the 700 from Yamaha, you're still getting that single. Now, one of the biggest changes for 2020 that I have found in my shopping is that with the DPS model, those aluminum wheels are now not standard anymore. Before, if you would buy the DPS model, which is power steering for those that are new to Can-Am talk, of either the 450 or the 570, you would get these nice aluminum wheels. And I think they really not only lower your unsprung weight, but I think they have a great look to them. Now these wheels are only available with XT models. Now again, that power steering, that DPS, that yellow button right there, for Can-Am actually has 3 different weights. You can simply press that yellow button, go between light assist, medium assist, or high assist. And yeah, I know a lot of you all are Hulk-like beings. You're super strong. You don't think you need to get that power steering because you're not a baby. But ultimately, let's be real, guys. It takes strain off of you. Not only does it help you to steer, but also it takes a lot of that shock off. If you're going down a rocky trail, the handlebars are not jerking out of your hands. And ultimately, it allows you to take a lot longer rides and to not get any kind of fatigue. Also, one thing to keep in mind, if you have your wife or your girlfriend or one of your friends riding it that may not be a Hulk like you, it definitely will help them out. If you're new to four-wheeler riding, my wife absolutely is green when it comes to four-wheeler riding, but she feels comfortable in this machine, especially with that power steering. And just in talking to her, riding machines that do not have the power steering, She's walking to this one every single time and swinging a leg over it. She cannot wait to ride this thing because ultimately it doesn't wear her out, which is really nice. Another thing to keep in mind is when you do ultimately want to sell your machine, trade up to a different one, a lot of people are definitely looking for power steering machines now. Every manufacturer offers it, to my knowledge, and a lot of people are getting used to that, and a lot of people are coming to expect that from a new four-wheeler. So obviously 2020 is a little bit of a different year. There's all sorts of things going on. I definitely don't need to talk about that with you all. I'm sure you're well aware. But when we were shopping for this machine in 2019, we walked in the dealership and were actually able to find this very machine as a 2018 that was left over from the previous year. I actually just had the opportunity to go to a couple Can-Am dealerships within the last 2 weeks or so, and walking in, their inventory is pretty sparse. You're definitely not going to find any leftover machines unless it's a really niche machine, which I haven't been able to find. But, you know, basically the dealerships I walked into, two different ones, they only had 4 different Outlanders, and that's through the whole range between 450 and 1000s, and that's including the XMR models, that's including basically every possible combination that you could think of. And that definitely is a little bit of a difference with your negotiating tactics. You know, before you could simply say, you know, hey, I'm not really interested in that one, but if you could order me this, or maybe I could look at a different dealership to find exactly what I want. Your options are definitely limited. If you walk into one dealership, that dealer does not have any rebates to give you. They do not have any corporate incentives to give you. Basically, they can set their price knowing that if you don't buy it, some other suckers are definitely going to walk through the door and pay full price for that machine. Now, I'm a fan of buying local. I'm sure a lot of you all are, but ultimately you need to look out for yourself. I mean, if you can get a little bit better deal with traveling a little bit farther on the day of your purchase, that's ultimately money in the bank, or money that you could put towards accessories, riding gear, or just extra fuel to burn up in your new Outlander. I would definitely recommend shopping around a little bit and seeing what all you could get. Now, you all might be asking why I'm talking about buying a new four-wheeler when I have this one sitting right in front of me. And for that, you'll have to take a little bit of a walk with me. So over the weekend, we picked up a brand new machine, and I could not be more excited. Like you just heard me talking about, I am married now. We have a new place where we're staying at, which allows us to ride a lot. And I was super stoked to pick up a new four-wheeler. Now, the orange one will be staying in the family. My dad's actually going to take over ownership of that and enjoy that. We actually just sold his Polaris Sportsman a little while ago, and he was really excited about the power steering. And also, Can-Am's engine braking is absolutely fantastic on these Outlanders. And riding up in the mountains where we do, he is really excited. You can see he already has it rigged up with his hunting bag there on the back, and he is super stoked. But about this new machine, this is a Can-Am Outlander 570, and it's actually the XT and the Max. So what that means is the Max here is the longer wheelbase. You can see it has a seat on the back. Basically, the entire length of the extended wheelbase is the length of this panel. We'll get into that more in detail in another video, but basically you're adding whatever 6 or 8 inches to the machine, but you are getting a back seat, which is great for my wife. And the XT, again, simply means it is a factory upgraded model. We got those same aluminum wheels we were just talking about on my machine. They do come standard still on the XT. You also get the front and rear bumpers, the winch, the hand guards, and actually these painted plastics. They look great here in the silver color, and I cannot be more excited. Now, for buying mine, I actually went back to the same dealership where we purchased the orange one, and they quoted me basically right at MSRP, which, you know, that's not a terrible price right now. With everything going on, these machines are pretty hard to find, especially with the Max model and the power steering. But I definitely wanted to go up to a 570. With the added weight of 2 passengers, I think that V-twin should definitely help us out. Now, I actually did a little bit more shopping around and found this XT model, which again is fully loaded, and that came to right at $400 cheaper than just a plain power steering model. So again, the 2020 power steering models come with steel wheels now, non-painted plastics, and ultimately they have the power steering, but they don't have any of the other accessories on there. It is more of a bare bones four-wheeler. But I was able to pick up this XT model fully loaded, just like you see it directly from the dealership for $400 less than that more of a basic model. So again, I could not be more happy. I did have to travel a little bit farther to get this machine, but it was definitely worth it. Me and my wife are already planning more trips to go on. And one really awesome feature that Can-Am does with their Max machines is this rear seat is removable. So if I'm just out cruising by myself, we can take it off. But when we put it back on, she has her own place for her feet, own grab handles, own seat. Basically, she has her own space, and I don't know she's back there until she starts whacking me in the back of the head because I'm going too fast. So we're really excited. We'll definitely bring you all videos of that, but I hope this helps. I know going through my buying experience, I was getting a little bit frustrated because simply dealers don't have as big of an inventory. But if you shop around enough and you are patient, I think it's definitely worth getting exactly what you want rather than buying something basically just to get a four-wheeler and not getting exactly what you want. So let me know what you all think. Let me know down in the comment section. We love hearing from you all, and we'd love to know if you're in the market for a new machine, what you're thinking about, and any questions you might have. You know, I am still somewhat new to four-wheeler riding, but I've definitely done a lot of research. I have friends that are big into it, and hopefully we can help each other out. So thank you all very much for watching. Have a fantastic week, everybody. We'll catch you next time.